If you are selling your house as is, that does not mean that you don't disclose what's going on. A lot of people think that as is means you can maybe hide something. You can never hide anything. Hey, it's me, Katie. So let's talk about what as is means. A lot of times you'll see that as is in a seller's description, or you'll have a seller who asks a buyer to write an offer as is. So as is means that the sellers are not actually going to fix, make repairs, or give any credits for anything that's wrong with the house at the inspection. They just won't do it. Now that doesn't mean that a buyer is going to have to buy the house if there is something wrong with it. You will always be able to get an inspection, and if there are issues in the inspection, you can pull out. You're not being forced to stay in the deal. But sometimes sellers say, you know what, I won't have to deal with any type of credits. I don't want to have to fix anything either. So they say we're going to sell the house as is. But that as a buyer does mean that a buyer can cancel the deal. It doesn't mean that they have to stick in the deal with an as is. So let's talk about the pros of selling as is for the sellers. The pros are that you do not have to give credits. You do not have to fix anything, and it makes the sales process a lot quicker. What will happen is the buyers will come in and they'll say, we have all these issues. Maybe your furnace isn't working or you have a leak in your roof, and the sellers are going to say, we're not going to do anything. And then you just move on. And this for sellers can be really great if it is a very, very competitive market. If it's a competitive market, this is a great opportunity for sellers to get out of the deal as quick and fast as possible without having to do any repairs or give a credit. It's also just very easy and simple to say, hey, it's as is, and then the negotiations can go a little quicker as well. The pros really do fall on the sellers for an as is situation because buyers don't really want an as is situation. Now, this is what I want to tell you if you're a seller and you've decided that you want to sell your house as is. You need to be very careful because if you are selling your house as is, that does not mean that you don't disclose what's going on. A lot of people think that as is means you can maybe hide something. You can never hide anything. So if you have something going on, if you have a leak in your basement or a window is broken, something like that that needs to go on the property disclosure, you're going to want to make sure you put it there. Now you could still sell as is with that item as a disclosure. It's fine. You are just not going to make any repairs to it. So keep in mind, if you're selling as is, you still have to disclose whatever it is that is broken. I'm going to tell you that you should never put as is in your listing description because what will happen is the buyers will pass over it assuming that it has a lot of work that needs to be done. I see a lot of sellers agents who actually write into the copy home being sold as is. Well, if it's a home that needs a lot of work, typically that is something that will be negotiated during the contract. And if it's a hot market, typically somebody will write out the inspection issues and will come in with an as is offer. What you're doing by putting as is into the copy is it makes the house look like it's in bad shape. And you don't want to put that out front for somebody right out of the gate. A lot of people will sell as is even if there's nothing wrong with the house. They just don't want to deal with it. Maybe they're older or it's an estate or something like that. It will just highlight that maybe the house is not in great shape. Now, as a seller, if you are selling a house that is in really bad shape, it's fine because somebody's going to buy that as a gut rehab and redo it anyway, so that's fine. But if your house is in good condition and you are putting seller selling as is into the copy, I guarantee you will get less showings. Also, some buyers will be very hesitant to buy a home as is because they are afraid of what they might find because somebody who thinks their home is in bad shape and selling as is. And for somebody who's selling their home as is, they might think, well, maybe it's just in bad shape and that's why they're using it as is. So it is sort of a red flag for buyers as well. And keep in mind, even though, as I said, you're selling it as is, you may think that that is going to prevent any possible legal action in the future because it's as is, and it is not. Remember what I said. You have to make sure that you still disclose it. So even if you use the term as is, that still means that you are liable if there is something wrong with the house that you did not disclose. That does not release you from any legal obligations if something is found to be wrong after the house is purchased and you knew about it. They can sue you in that situation. As is a very powerful tool when you are in a very, very hot market. If you're in a slow market or you have a house that's going to be hard to sell, it can really, really put a damper on the possible offers that you're going to get. In addition, it just sometimes looks bad. So buyers do sometimes get a little nervous when they do see as is. But as a seller, if you are in a hot market and your agent is on top of this, your agent really can play multiple offers against each other to get you that as is offer at a high price. That is ultimately the goal, where you do not have to actually pay for any repairs or give a credit for anything in your home. Now, just because I've told you about this as is, I want to make sure that you do talk to your specific agent before you list your house. I am always available for a call. You can always reach out to me and book a call down below. I'm more than happy to set up a time to meet and to talk with you about should you list your home as is or not. So please, I want to make sure that you like and subscribe to this video. If you are thinking of selling your house, I've got a lot of great videos that I don't want you to miss. Thanks for watching. As I always say, if you know, you know.